I'm going to talk about the skin cell composition. For the mammal skin is composed of two main layers: the epidermis, made of closely packed epithelial cells; the dermis, made of dense, irregular connective tissue that houses blood vessel, hair follicle, sweat glands, and other structures. For the fish skin is composed of multi-layered epidermis, dermis, dermal scales, and mucous cell. The epidermis consists of mucosal cells that produce the mucus and the cell called keratocyte that form the outermost cell layer of the fish skin. For the reptile skin is covered with scud and scale, which are made of alpha and beta keratin from the dermis, contrary to the fish, in which the scale are formed from the dermis. The scale may be ossified or tubercular, as in the case of lizard, or modified elaborately, as in the case of the snakes.
For the cell structure, the similarity for the aquatic organism, reptile, and mammal. The skin of the all group animal is made up of two distinct layers in outermost layer, the epidermis, and in the in layer, the dermis or coil. For the differences, aquatic organism with or without scales must have tissue gland to secrete mucus or fluid. For the reptile, scales cannot be scraped off as in the fish because they are an integral part of the skin. The reptile scales easily left and bony under support of any significant structural contribution from the dermis. For the mammal epidermis has several layers of cell known as keratinocytes, which areas by cell division in the basal stratum, germinating.
The skin cell functions. For the mammal skin, the function different from the other two animals are waste removal because the toxin released through the sweat gland in skin. Next is secret sebum, which is a mixture of oil that keeps the skin soft and supple and regulates the body temperature by sweating, shivering, or getting goosebumps. Move on to the reptile. First, the references are the reptile skin help them to get moving. In the case of snakes, scales create friction to propel snakes forward. Next, we have modified scales with rattlesnake vibrate to warn predators. By shooting skin, it allows reptile to get rid of parasites like mites and ticks. The parasites falls off with the shading skin. We look at the aquatic, Mercury maintaining the water balance mass numerous on the octic animal. For respiration, adult species that adapt to survive temporary immersion or short terrestrial migration characterize atmospheric oxygen via diffusion through a well-vascularized skin. Coloration of fish enable them to hide in the open ocean by manipulating how light reflects on their skin. First, similarity between three types of animal. First, the sign function is to provide the protective area. The skin function is the first line defense against harmful pollution. The next similarity is prevents lost moisture. We could see the example on the reptiles living in the desert have evolved special adaptation that allow them to thrive in the hot and dry climate. Lastly, the skin contains millions of nerve endings that transfer stimuli. This nerve endings allow skin to detect sensations such as heat, cold, and pain.
For the question 4, the gene that associated with the skin cell for the mammal is MC1R gene. This gene provides information for making and constructing a protein called melanocortin-1 receptor. This receptor plays important role in normal pigmentation in mammals. If there was a mutation in this gene, mammals such as elephant and zebras, their skin colors will be expressed differently from usual. This will harm them because they could not camouflage themselves from the prey. Elephant with bright skin pigmentation really does not make sense, right? That's all for me. Thank you.
The gene that associated with the cell is SLC452 gene. This gene is provide instruction for making a protein. If there was a mutation on this gene, there was no protein formation.
As for the reptile, genes associated with the reptiles are the alpha 13 and beta 13 genes that are designated as KRT1, KRT2, and etc. The paternal appendages of the reptiles are characterized by the presence of both alpha and beta keratin proteins. The genes are important to make or add more rigidity of the reptile skins, providing waterproofing and the prevention of desiccation. If there is mutation, it will include intermediate filaments, causes keratinocyte, and cutaneous tissue fragility. The reptiles will fail to develop proper scale backcoat.